So if you can, I want you to definitely take good notes tonight. We're going to be talking about the feel, felt, found method that goes hand in hand with how to invite. See, when you're in business for yourself and you're in a business as a people-based business, at the end of the day, what matters most is not how great your product is, not how great your compensation plan is, not how great your company is. What matters most is how great you are at able to connect with other people, because people sign up with people before they sign up with companies. It took me a while to figure that out. Doesn't matter if you're part of the best company, people still won't sign up with you if you don't know how to connect with them. So if you master the art of connecting, you master the art of inviting. Think about Don King. You ever heard of Don King? I know the new generation may not know much about him, but Don King was the greatest promoter, boxing promoter of all time. And what was he so good at? He was good at promoting, inviting. Those of you who can invite the most people to see a presentation will always make more money than everybody else. That is a fact. But I'm going to teach you how to get good at actually inviting someone to your presentation. Let me type in the chat box. Diane, all she has to do is click on the audio feature on her phone, on her, on the computer, or better yet, to call in. Let me type that in. Please call in Diana. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this. Let's talk about signing up customers. People say, what do I say? Even though we give this away for free, even though the app's going to have a little invite button where you can invite everybody that you know on Facebook and everywhere else, this is what you want to say. There's 3 scripts to this, 3 ways of saying this. The first 2 ways is when you're talking to people that you know, because naturally when you join any business, the first people you talk to is friends, family, and acquaintances. And I'm telling you right now, friends, family, and acquaintances are not going to walk you off your job. Know that going into this. So not only will most of them say no, the ones who say yes are not going to get you to the promised land. So if you already know in your mind, you have that mentality that it doesn't matter what my friends and family say, you're already ahead of the game. Because what most people do is they talk to friends and family, their friends and family say no, they say this doesn't work, I quit. They completely miss the point. Donald Trump didn't become a billionaire talking to friends and family. Mark Zuckerberg didn't get to become a billionaire signing his dad up on Facebook. You use them for practice. Okay? So here is how you talk to friends and family without pressuring them to buy your product. So here's script number 1, signing up a customer. Could you do me a huge favor? Isn't that something we always ask our friends and family anyway? Could you do me a huge favor? I just got started in my own home-based business and I am working on getting promoted. Think about that. Think about that. Could you please help me out and be my customer? Best part is that it will not cost you anything. Our product is free. Thank you very much. That script is designed where you will not get a no. Why would somebody say no? 1, you're asking for a favor. 2, you're letting them know you started your own business and you're trying to get promoted and you need their help to be promoted. What do they have to do? Download an app for free. I'm going to modify this when the mobile app comes out to include the app in there. But this is just generic. Be my customer for free. You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to be my family. And you're telling me you can't even support me by signing up for something for free? We have issues, my friend. Don't talk to me about you need a ride to the airport and you need help moving your refrigerator. You better go call somebody else because that takes time. I'm asking you to sign up for something for free that's going to take you 3 seconds and help me get promoted. Don't be a hater. It's that easy. Here's script number 2. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought anything online before? Ah, what do you think the answer to that question is? Yes, 97% of all people on the internet have made a purchase online. So here's a trick. You always ask questions you know what the answer is you're going to get. Have you ever bought anything online before? Yes. What if I could show you how to save money on every single purchase you make online by giving you a free membership to a secret shopping website called Sherlock Savers? I need to update that. I'm going to change that up to now to our download of our mobile app. But I was trained to be a lawyer. I was a political science major, pre-law. And in school, you're taught in any sentences, there's key words and key phrases. In this sentence there, the word free and the word secret is what's gonna be what's the word? It's gonna stay and be highlighted in somebody's brain. When they hear those words, they pay attention and they hold on to that. It's a psychological thing. Free and secret. Why? Free because everybody wants to hook up. Everybody wants something for nothing. People don't want to work for it. Give me it for free. What's the hookup? And then when you have the word secret, people don't like to be left out on nothing. People don't like to be in the dark. They want to be in the know. They want to be with the cool kids know a secret. I want to know the secret. That's why I wrote it that way. How would you like to save money by giving you a free membership to a secret website, which means your friends don't got access to this, but you do. Most people love to keep up with the Joneses. They love to one up their customer. They love to one up somebody else. If you're into hip hop, look at not Jay-Z. Look at 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather going at each other right now, trying to one up each other. That's just human nature. Free membership to a secret shopping website. And then check this out. Just give me your email address and I'll get you set up in 30 seconds. Oh, by the way, it's free. All you need to do is give me your email address. Now, that strategy is how when we had first got started in the Sherlock, we were signing up 100 to 200 Sherlock customers in a week. Want to know why? Because all we needed was somebody's email address. So we take their email address, we go to our website, we'd sign them up for the Sherlock, they would get a welcome email, and we would follow up with them on how to use the Sherlock now. So technically, we're the ones who signed them up. Now, it's important to follow through because you don't get paid just from signing up the customer. They have to be actively using it. So if you use this strategy where all you're doing is getting their email address and you're signing them up, you must follow up with them to show them how it works so that you can get paid. Does that make sense? So that's script number 2. Script number 3 is really for people you don't know that well. Maybe somebody you just met. Maybe you've got an online marketing campaign going and you're chatting with somebody. But here's what you say. Listen, I am going to do you a huge favor. You see the difference here? See, the first 2, you're asking a question. This third one, you're basically telling them what they're going to do. This is how you take control of conversations. I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do you a huge favor. What was the last item you purchased online and how much did you pay for it? Really? You paid that much? I'm going to find you a better deal on the same item and then show you how you can do it yourself for free. How does that sound? Yes or no? Again, who in their right mind's going to say no? I'm going to show you how to save money on something you bought. Why would you say no to that? Anybody who says no to that is simply because they just don't like you. All right? You can take it personal or not, but you know who your real friends are. You move on. So let me say that third one again. Listen, I am going to do you a huge favor. What was the last item you purchased online and how much did you pay for it? I am going to find you a better deal on the same item and then show you how you can do it for yourself. How does that sound? Great. Let's do it. This is good, real good. When the mobile app is here, you're walking down the street, all you have to do is pull out your phone and show somebody. You don't have to go home and pull out the laptop or the desktop. Right there on your phone. Just show them, right? How much did those shoes cost? Let me Sherlock it. This is what you could have paid for it if you use our Sherlock. Oh, by the way, it's free. Here's my code. All right, those are the scripts for the customers. Does anybody have any questions? Type it in the chat box. Let me know, and I can unmute you and you can speak. But if not, we are going to move on to signing up distributors. What do you say? And to me, this is a no-brainer, but I remember when I first got started in this industry, and I had no clue what to do next. How do I sign people up? What do I say to them? So here's 3 basic scripts. It's very similar to the customer script. So script number 1. Can you do me a huge favor? I just got started in my own home-based business, and I am just learning. All right? This is when you're talking to friends and family. Here's the reason why I do it this way. Your friends and family will not respect your business sense. They love you, but they don't respect your business sense. And I should qualify that by saying United States of America. The culture is different overseas. When I look at our Filipino organization, it's the opposite. If one family member gets in, everybody gets in to help out that family member, and then they figure it out later. That's not the case in America. It's the opposite. What do you know about business? You were drunk last week. What do you know about business? I had to bail you out. What do you know about business? You came to me last month asking for money. You needed to borrow some money. They love you. They just don't respect your business sense. So don't try to get them in your business. This is the passive-aggressive approach. Can you do me a huge favor? I just got started in my own home-based business, and I am just learning. So you're qualifying that, hey, you don't know nothing yet. You're just learning. Can you watch this quick 5-minute video for me and let me know if you know anyone who would be interested? I would really appreciate it. See, this is a trick here. This is a trick that you're doing. You're not asking them if they're interested in your business. You're not asking them to join your business. What you're doing is asking them to take a look at it and give you referrals of people that they know. This is reverse psychology, because what they're going to do, they're going to say, yeah, sure, I'll take a look at it. There's no pressure on them. They're not pressured. Oh, man, this guy's trying to get me in something. No. I just want you to look at this, because you may know people. You can even go as far, I know you're not interested. You're already big time. You're already doing big things. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. Help me out. Who do you know that might love this? So you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're exposing your business to them. And even if they feel in their own brain that this is not for them, they know people that they can refer you to. Or what's going to happen, they're going to say, yeah, I know people that's interested. Me, I'm interested. They will tell you that they're interested. Understand this concept. This is another cornerstone of my business. You can write this down. People like to buy. They don't like to be sold. I'm going to say that one more time. People like to buy. They don't like to be sold. I hate going to a car dealership and I can't be 3 feet on the lot before somebody is up to me trying to sell me on a car. Can I have some breathing room? Can I browse and look? I hate going into, it's always, what stores is this? Apple, maybe Radio Shack. Going into a store, and I took my wife, we were in Bed Bath & Beyond. Couldn't even walk in there, and the lady's like, oh, can I do anything you're looking for? No, I'm just looking. When I see something, I'll buy it. Leave me alone. That's how people are. So let them buy it from you, but you're still going to expose it to them without them feeling threatened. Here's script number 2. Listen, I know you probably are not interested in hearing about a company that is paying people to shop online. That's a loaded question right there because you're already making that decision for them. It's like a double-edged sword. Listen, I know you're probably not interested in hearing about a company that's paying people to shop online. This company is moving real fast, so could you do me a favor? Could you take a look at this quick video and let me know if you know anyone who would be interested? Wow. You know what I had one person tell me when I said that? How do you know I wouldn't be interested? Well, I don't know. I see your Facebook post. I mean, you're already doing big things. So I'm not trying to pull you into something else. I just wanted you to take a look at it. You might know some people who'd be interested in this. You don't want to make money online. You're selling that juice product. They will turn it around on you real quick. Oh, wait, don't tell me what I'm. Give me the video. I'll decide for myself if this is for me or not. So they're already in the mode to prove you wrong, right? So if they watch the video and they turn around and say, "Nah, man, this isn't for me," then I told you this wasn't for you. But they don't want to prove you right. So even if it's not for them, they're going to look into it more to see why it should be for them. Psychology. Whether you like it or not, this is a game. I mean, it is real life. But you're playing a chess game with people. You got to know the art on this. This is not something that you learn overnight. You learn this with trial and error by actually picking up the phone and talking to people. This kind of stuff doesn't happen on chat, on Facebook, on Twitter. You got to be talking to them. So I'm going to say that whole script one more time. Number 2. Listen, I know you probably are not interested, but I heard about a company that is paying people to shop online. This company is moving real fast, so can you take a look at this quick video and let me know if you know anyone who would be interested? Passive aggressive. Of course they're your target, but you're not selling to them. They will buy it if it's that great for them. And script number 3. Again, this is for people you don't know. Hey, listen. If I could show you how to make money every time somebody shopped online by giving away a free app, would you want to hear about it, yes or no? Who in their right mind would say no? Broke-minded people. They just weeded themselves out and did you a favor. But it's a loaded question. It's designed to get a yes. Yeah, I want to hear about that. What do you mean? Making money every time somebody shops online by giving away a free product. What are you talking about? Yeah, great. Well, we're having a presentation on such and such a date. Oh, here's a recorded presentation you can look at. It doesn't matter what. The point is you are moving them on to the next step, which is them actually seeing something about the business. All you have to do is sit in front of your computer and watch. Again, you don't just want to throw out links out there. Be on the phone with them while they're watching it. You know how people are. Yeah, well, I'll look at the link. 3-4 days later goes by. You come. Hey, did you ever have a chance to look at that link? Oh no, man, I got real busy. Can you shoot me that link all over again? Do you know how often I do that? I just did it today. I had a guy call me up trying to get me to look at some other program. Now I remember he sent me all this information a week ago, and I could care less about it, and I forgot about it. And he called me up this morning. Hey, B, did you ever have a chance to look at that information? What information? I sent you that email. Oh man, man, I got so big. Can you shoot it over to me again? I know that buys me another 2 weeks. But I tell him, listen, man, you already know this. I'm focused on what I'm doing. Sure, you can make money with it, but get out of here with that. Have fun with this. I got so good at this because I talk to more people than everybody else. If I had sponsored 150 people, do you know how many no's I got to get those 150? 400 no's, 300 no's? So what? I'm only focused on those saying yes. If you guys are still with me, type Y in the chat box. I've either captivated you or put you to sleep, so I got to make sure you're still with me. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the feel, felt, found. This is a game changer if you want to be a professional recruiter Or this still works for customers. What you don't realize is I wrote those scripts for customer and distributor under the feel, felt, found method. So I'm going to break this down. Feel, felt, found. The first thing is the feel when you're connecting with somebody. And how you feel them is listen, 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 shut up, listen, don't even think about talking. Listen, listen, listen. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use it in that proportion and you will be wealthy. When normal conversations take place, you know how it goes? While one person's talking, the other person is thinking about what they want to say and waiting for the other person to shut up so that they can put in their 2 cents. Nobody is actually listening to each other. You're talking at each other. When I was in high school, my dad taught me a trick. And I was an ugly duckling my first 3 years in high school. People used to call me Urkel. I had goofy glasses, acne, a bad high top fade, and a big Humpty nose. People called me Urkel. I had no females trying to knock on my door, not to my senior year. Senior year was like the ultimate makeover. But my first 3 years in high school, it was frustrating. And my dad said, listen, I'm going to teach you a trick, son. This trick is going to make sure that you have more females calling you than the captain of the football team or the quarterback of the football team. This will always work. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, next time you talk to a woman, a girl, in high school, don't say nothing, just listen. Listen. Because in high school, especially high school guys, we love to brag about ourselves and how great we are and great what we're doing. We don't care about what's going on in the girls' world. That's silly to us. They just gossip and want to talk about silly stuff to us. It's not silly to the girls, but it's silly to us. Puts us to sleep. We just want to look at you. And girls are dealing with that on a daily basis when they're talking to guys. So my dad said, you need to do the opposite. When you're on the phone with a girl, just listen and act as if whatever she has to say is the most interesting thing in the world. So I learned to do this when I'm talking to a girl. Really? Wow, how interesting. You're so smart. I can't believe you came out on top. Wow, how fascinating. I had no idea what in the world they were talking about, but that's what I did. And at the end of the conversation, you know what I used to hear? Wow, you are so fun to talk to. You're such a great person. I love talking to you. And then they would go and tell their girlfriends about it. And now I'm talking to their girlfriends too, because high school girls just wanted to talk about their problems and talk about what other stupid girl is doing and brag. And you know how girls are. And I quickly became very popular. I had no problem having a bunch of women, or they weren't women yet, girls to talk to. Why? Because I listened. I have a 15-year-old son in high school right now, and I'm teaching him this right now. So you want to have a leg up on all the other dudes? Listen to the girls. Feel. So here's how it works in business. When you meet somebody and you're talking to them, whether on chat or whatnot, you ask questions. You lead the conversation. And here's the questions that I ask. Hey, let me ask you, what do you do for a living? I don't care what they tell me. I always say how great it is. You could be a cashier at McDonald's. Great. You're making some money. Good for you. There's a lot of people that can't even work at McDonald's. Always positive. And then I ask them another question. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Because here's the one thing, and I love doing this with other networkers, because networkers fake the funk big time on social media. They talk about how great they are, how great their company is, what's going on. But you give me 2 minutes on the phone with them and the truth comes out real quick, especially if you let them do all the talking. You quickly realize that there's trouble in paradise. It's not all that they're making it out to be. Just by listening, asking a few questions and shutting up. The more they talk, the more they spill the beans. You ever heard that? That's why lawyers tell you when you get arrested, Shut up. Don't say nothing until a lawyer is present. Because the more you talk, the more you spill the beans. You can only lie for so long. You can only fake the funk for so long. The truth always comes out in time. So you ask a few questions. They will tell you their life story because you're listening. And again, most people don't listen to them. So when a human being is finally in contact with somebody that's listening to them, you don't want to let them go. You want to keep talking because you're getting attention right now, and they don't even realize they're doing this. It's human nature. So listen. Spend the 15, 20 minutes. And I'm not talking about a three-way call here. I'm talking about just connecting with another person before you're even talking about your business. People want to know that you care. So you ask them a couple of questions and you listen. You might hear a story that, they're working a job and they're afraid of getting laid off, or they're in a network marketing company, they're not having much success at all, they're not getting support. You hear their problems. And while you're hearing their problem, this is what you're doing. You're going to either do two things: relate to what they're saying, or you're going to think about somebody that you know who has gone through the same exact thing. This is very important. This is why our Sunday night team calls are important. This is why plugging is important. This is why getting to know your other team members are important, because everybody has a story and everybody's story is not the same. So if you find out about another person's story on your team and then you're talking to a prospect who's telling you a similar story, you're going to be able to pull it out of your pocket. Here's why. The next thing is called felt. Now, before we get to felt, the power of listening and feel is after they say whatever they're going to say, you're going to say, man, you know what? I completely understand what you're talking about. I feel what you're saying. I understand you. That's what people want to know. Do you understand what they're going through? A lot of people feel alone in this world. Most people are selfish, only care about themselves. And you give somebody a little bit of attention and watch how much they're going to want to listen to anything else you have to say. So you felt that way. You know a couple of presidents who did this, who are very good at this. And there are some presidents who are horrible at it. I'll name you Ronald Reagan, excellent at this approach, feeling the people, the American people. George Bush, after Reagan, horrible, completely detached, completely out of touch, had no freaking clue. That's why he got thrown in the woodshed when he didn't know what a scanning machine at the grocery store was. Man, he hasn't been to a grocery store in 40 years. Why? He's a multimillionaire. He doesn't do his own shopping, but you don't need to let the American public know that. He was horrible at relating. Bill Clinton, excellent, a master at relating. I feel your pain. Guys, remember that in the 90s? Ross Perot was excellent at it. He was a nail in George Bush's coffin, the first George Bush. He could relate with people. And he told stories on how he helped the people. People can relate to that. They feel that. They understand that. Then you had George Bush Jr. He also was good at feeling your pain. You don't believe me? Go back and watch the 9/11 speech he gave on Ground Zero. Whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, all Americans came together after that, and he did an excellent speech. And I don't even like George Bush. But there were times when he was able to feel everybody's pain, and people can connect to him. Obama, excellent at it. Whether you like his politics or not? How about Al Gore? Horrible, horrible. John Kerry was a little bit better than Al Gore, but horrible. You look at Mitt Romney. No. Bob Dole. Horrible, horrible at relating and feeling people and connecting with people. All right, so I gave you guys some good examples. Here's the next step. Felt. Relate. See, when you are able to turn around after hearing somebody's story and saying, you know, I understand exactly what you're going through. At one point in my life, I felt the same exact way. I was laid off from my job twice. I got a college degree, and the moment I graduated, I was already in debt, telling me it's going to take 25 years to pay off my student loans. Then I got married and had to assume the debt of my wife, who has a master's degree. So not only an undergrad, but a master's degree full of debt. There was no job waiting for me, as they promised. I ended up getting a job where my supervisor didn't even go to college and was making more money than me. Then I got laid off. I know what it's like to miss lunch and say you'll just eat at your desk because you needed that money for gas just to get home. I know what it's like to look my son in his face on his birthday and say you got to wait till Friday until daddy gets paid. I know what it's like for the 24th of the month to hit, you've ran out of money and you don't get paid till the end of the month. I can relate. And if you cannot relate, if you know somebody else's story, you say this, you know, I understand exactly what you're going through. I have a business partner that went through the same exact thing. And then you tell their story. That's why it's so important to plug into the system. Get to know your team members. Find out the success they're having, where they came from. That's one thing I got very good at doing. I know all the top leaders of our company, especially the ones that are not even on my team. I know their story. I know where they came from because I know that I'm going to run into somebody who has a completely different experience than me. And I'm going to need those leader stories to fall in on. So you're relating to them. And what is it telling the other person? The other person saying, wow, this person actually listened to me. Wow, this person went through the same thing. So I'm no longer what? Alone. Most people feel like they are alone, especially women. And women will admit to that, but men too, but men won't admit to it. And men can be alone, feel lonely as well. Feel like the whole world is on your shoulder. Who can you talk to? Who can you share to? You have to be strong for your family. You have to be strong for your wife. You have to be strong in front of your boys because you're faking it. You can't let them know that you're weak and you're going through problems. So when you're talking to somebody and then they tell you that they've been in the same position you are, that wall, that brick wall barrier has shrunk. The obstacle is no longer there. You drop the wall. They're susceptible. They're open to you now. And the final step is found. What found represents is solution, 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 solution. Successful people are successful because they found a solution to a problem. That's a quote. You should write it down. Successful people are successful because they found a solution to a problem, or they found a solution to most people's problem, and most people are willing to pay for that solution. You guys understand? Donald Trump, he finds solutions. Bill Gates, he finds solutions. You want to be able to find the solution. And this is hard, or let me put it this way, harder for women. Because when women have problems, They don't always want the solution. I figured this out when I got married. And I'm married, right? And my wife might have a bad day at work, or some other woman or family member pissed her off. And she comes to me. And I got to hear her going off, venting. As a man, first thing in my mind is, okay, let me find the solution to fix this problem so I don't have to hear this anymore. I'm thinking out loud now. I don't actually say that, okay? But I'm telling you how men think. Can I find the solution so she can shut up about this and I can keep watching my game now? That is bad. That's just how men are. All right? So, after listening to her, we want to give a solution. And sometimes that makes it worse because she didn't want a solution. She just wanted to vent. She just wanted somebody to listen to her. Have you ever listened to women talk to each other? They never come up with a solution. Yeah, girl, you're right. Yeah, he's wrong for that. Yeah, girl, I can't believe that happened. Nobody's ever coming up with a solution. They're just sitting there talking to each other, venting to each other. And they love it. Why? Because venting and getting it out is their solution. You guys understand that? So in business, you are not solving their problem. What you're going to do is show them how you solved your problem. You guys understand that? They don't want you to solve their problem. They want to hear how you solved your problem. So if you were able to understand what they were saying, and then you're relating to them saying, hey, I was in that same position. But you know what I found out? I joined a home-based business, put my head down to work, and I retired at the age of 36 years old. I wake up when I'm finished sleeping. Every day is a Friday or a Saturday to me. Today I went swimming with my boys. I could have done that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter. Every day is Friday to me. Now you've just planted seeds. Because that person in their brain, this is what they're thinking. Wow, this person had the same problem I had and they found a solution. If it worked for them, maybe their solution will work for me. And you know, 9 times out of 10, what the next question is from them? What did you do? What do you mean you're retired? Well, since a lot of you may not be in the position I am in, then it's a different story. What you say is, you know what? I was in the same boat as you. I felt the same exact way. But what I found out was that if I join a home-based business, I put my head down and go to work, over the next 3 years, I will never have to work a job in my life. So I'm so grateful for that. At any time, did you say to this person, you need to do what I'm doing? You need to look at my company. You need to sign up with me. You need to be my customer. No. All you did was related with them, told them that you understood what they were coming from, let them know that you were in the same situation or similar, and that you found a solution to your problem. People like to buy. They don't like to be sold. So I'll give you a quick rundown on this. Okay, give you an example. Somebody tells me that they're not making enough money. They're drowning. Their job is not cutting it. They can't even afford to get a second job because they can't afford a babysitter for the kids. And I say, I understand exactly what you're going through. I felt the same way in the past. I had money issues. I had money problems. I didn't want to get a second job. 2 jobs is meant for 2 people. I was tired of working for other people's dream. I wanted to work for my own dream. I wanted my own freedom. I wanted my own financial stability. I wanted to make my own money. So I joined a home-based business, and understand still, I have not said the name of my company. That's the last thing I say. See, in my eyes, not everybody is qualified to even hear about what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is going to make me a millionaire. That's the top 3 percenters. So I'm not interested in what the 97% thinks about what I'm doing. The ones who qualify will step forward because they will always say, well, hey, what are you doing? And you tell, oh, well, I'm involved in e-commerce industry. I get paid for giving away a free app. That's it. What do you mean you get paid for giving away a free app? And as they start asking more questions, it's like going fishing and you reeling in that hook. You don't give them everything up front. This does not mean you lie. All I'm saying is you can't give somebody a drink of water with a fire hose. So when somebody's asking me about Sherlock, I cannot turn around and say, oh, you got to get in this company. We give away a product for free. Every time people shop, you make money. Every time they sign up people in the business, you make money. It's worldwide. It's global. 97% of the people is using it. Fastest growing economy on the planet. Billionaires are getting in position. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, did I say I get 20% check match? Oh, did you also know that I get to own part of the company? What do you think the person that you're talking to is doing at that point? They tuned you out a long time ago. And they definitely don't want to join your business, even if it sounds good. Because you know what they say? Wow, that sounds fantastic. But in the back of their mind, they're thinking, if I sign up in your business, is that what I'm going to have to do? Am I going to have to know all that stuff, all that information? That's too complicated for me. I can't see myself doing all that. Never mind. It may sound great, but it's not for me. And then they say, when you say, so are you ready to get started? Their answer is no. What do you mean no? Didn't you just hear what I said? Didn't you hear I said that this is $1 trillion industry? Didn't you hear I said 97% of the people are shopping online? Didn't you get all that? Yeah, I got it. I just don't want to be the one running my mouth out there like you are right now. I don't have time for all that. People like to buy, they don't like to be sold. So you let them start asking questions. Then you got them. You got them at that point. It's the same for customers. You can use a feel, felt, found method for customers. Here's what you do. You ask somebody, hey, oh, and before I even say this, I got to qualify this. You already know the situation. I was listening to Jim Rohn a couple of years back, and one thing he talked about his mentor, Earl Schulf. Earl Schulf had a gift of being able to guess how much money was in somebody's bank account just by talking to them for a couple of minutes. He was able to guess. Why? Because most people that work a job are only getting paid enough money so that they don't quit, and you're only working a job hard enough so you don't get fired. So we already know that the majority of the population only makes enough money barely to survive. I already know your story before you tell me your story because you're part of the 97 percentile. It's basically the same, just maybe different industries and different jobs that you're a part of. But I already know your story. I already know you're not making enough money. I already know you're in debt. I already know you have a mortgage. I already know you have no retirement fund. I already know that if you continue this path, you're going to retire broke, depending on family, government, and friends by the age of 65. I already know. You're not telling me anything new. You're just telling me how your story fits into this narrative. So, getting back to this, most people live on a fixed income. They go to work, they get a paycheck. What do they do with that paycheck? They pay their bills. And whatever's left over, they buy food, clothing, entertainment, restaurants, going to the movies, a little bit of shopping here and there. And then they do it all over again next month. But what if you could put an extra $150 to $300 back into their monthly budget by giving them an app that's going to help them save money? Think about that. You found a solution to their problem, so you already know the solution, and they haven't even told you the problem yet. So I would say this: hey, what was the last thing that you bought online? If I may ask. Wow, that's expensive. Do you like it? Is it enjoyable? Yeah, I guess so. What if I could show you how to get that for less? What do you mean? Well, I've got an app that will look up whatever it is you want to buy, and you can get 30 to 70% savings, or on whatever it is you wanted to buy. Really? Yeah. You want to try it out? It's free. A simple heart to heart conversation with people. We've been spoiled the last 4 or 5 years. Everybody wants to go on social media and just type something on Facebook and expect to have a bunch of people wanting to sign up in their business, or post something on Twitter and people are going to sign up in their business. It doesn't work that way. That is how you can attract leads, but it's when you get on the phone with them and have a personal conversation, get to know them. And then whenever they say, hey, what is it that you do? Ding, I got them. I got them. Because I make the questions so simplistic that you'll feel stupid to walk away from whatever I have to say. But you got to get to that point first. Do not give somebody a drink of water with a fire hose. And that, my friends, is the feel, felt, found method. How does it make you feel? Listen to what they're saying. I felt the same way, but guess what I found? I understand how you feel. I felt the same way, but guess what I found? Listen, relate, solution. You do that all day over and over and over again. And I actually have a video that I recorded on the feel, felt, found method. Let me pull that up, and I'll pull the link right here. While I'm doing this, if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and type it in the chat box, or say me and I can unmute you if you have your microphone on. Let me look for this. Feel, felt, found. How long ago did I did this video? Wow, I did this video back in 2010. Wow, let me pull this up here. It's only a 5-minute video. Copy. Now let's paste it. All right, Andrew has a question. Let me see if Andrew has his mic. Andrew doesn't have a mic on. So Andrew, type in the chat box what your question is for me. Type in the chat box. Oh, look at this. Chuck Williams just released the recording of this morning's webinar. And if you were not on this webinar this morning, it was awesome. Let's see, here's a recording. Copy. Let me paste it. So there's a recording from this morning. I got to watch that again, too. I was doing 3-way calls in the middle of it, so I didn't get to hear everything. But the people on that are 7-figure earners. Those guys have made over $10, $20 million in our industry. So you definitely want to hear why they joined Sherlock and what they're about to do. Also, coming up, I made a new video as well today, right before I went swimming. We have a big grand opening Google Hangout next Monday that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be doing a Google Hangout. It is gonna be our 1-year anniversary with Shopping Sherlock. We're gonna talk about our past year, good and bad. I'm not a hype guy. I'm not the guy that's gonna just give you a bunch of BS smoke. I'm a business person. So as a business person, you reflect on your year and you reflect on what didn't go your way and what adjustments you need to make for the next year. We're also going to highlight and bring up a couple of our new upcoming leaders. If Dino can be there, I'm going to have Dino as one of the panelists. Dino is the leader in Japan. He's a global power with the company, got promoted to global. We have some brand new people that's just getting started, like Andrew right there, Andrew Zambetti. So here's Andrew's question. Instead of saying we can save you 70% on your purchase, would it be better to say I found an app that combines literally any place that anyone would ever shop online, such as Amazon, eBay, and Google products, into one search and infuse it with Groupon and cash back? Absolutely. And also, never say we can save you 70%. Always say we can save up to, because there's never a guarantee on that. And you always have somebody come back and say, you said I was going to save 70% and I only saved 63%. Where's my 7%? You always have that person. But definitely, that's exactly what you can say. I found an app that combines literally every place that you shop online. It's all in one spot. Why? Because people say, why would I Sherlock it when I could just Google it? Why would I Sherlock it when I could just Amazon it? Because when you Sherlock it, you do all of those. It's one-stop shop. I was listening to one of our other leaders that found even travel and stuff cheaper with the Sherlock than they did with kayak. And if somebody finds something cheaper, we'll just add it to the Sherlock. So absolutely, Andrew. These scripts are generic. They're just a baseline for you to grow from. You're not going to be doing it word for word. You say what I would say as you would say it. You have different audiences out there. What you say to a 25-year-old, you can't say to a 55-year-old. They're both not interested in the same things. That's why when you're talking to them, they will tell you who they are. Remember last week, we went over personality traits. Remember? Whale, shark, dolphin, and urchin. You can't approach everybody the same exact way. Oh man, my cell phone battery is about to die on me. So let me close this out so I don't lose everybody on the conference call line. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is our mindset training for tonight. It was recorded, and I will get the recording out as fast as possible. We should have had 200 to 300 people on this webinar tonight. Training. Get your team members plugged in because the game is changing next Monday, September 1st. I'm starting all over. I'm acting as if I don't have a team. I'm going to go hit global all over again, and I'm looking for a few key people. I really want to start 3 brand new legs and help those people become global and to make $10,000 before the year is out. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm starting all over, brand new from scratch. Create a brand new team as well on top of the one we already have. But if you guys want to have success, it's up to you to get your team members plugged in and trained. There's no shortcut in this industry. People have been approaching me about Race Cycler and RE, whatever that is, relationship or energy, whatever, and all these other gimmick programs. And these are programs that, yes, you can make a lot of money up front, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for long-term residual income. There's no shortcut, only hard work. You can make it happen fast or you can make it happen slow. Bottom line is, it will happen. The only way to lose is to quit. The only way to lose is to quit. And if you want to know, people say, Brandon, what's the secret? What's the strategy? Sign up 4 people and make your money back and teach those 4 how to do the same thing. And if you continue to do this over the next 5-6 months, you will walk off your job. If everybody duplicates that, you want to know a strategy. It's not rocket science. Sign up 4, teach them how to do the same and duplicate. That's it. That's the key. The comp plan will take care of the rest. So with that, thank you guys for joining us tonight. My name is Brandon Ivey. We have another live presentation tomorrow with the Millionaires in St. Louis. Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here on liveonedream.info. Before that, we have our team call at 8 p.m. Eastern. Get your team members on the team call. I'm going to be heavily talking about our game plan with the mobile app, our Google Hangout in one more week, a relaunch of Power Team Marketing in Sherlock, and how we're going to end this year out strong. So thank you guys for joining us. My name is Brandon Ivey, Global with Sherlock. God bless and have a good evening. Bye.